with Yardman Leng. Under some good energy, you can see the sun beating down outside. But I did owe you guys a video. You know what I'm saying? My boy actually was the one who reminded me, you know. I got what do you call it, man? A TikTok inbox or whatever they want to call it these days. I'm not up to date with this stuff. But and he was like, you done the mag video for the Ravens. When you like the unboxing and the initial review, but he was like, you never updated it, which is actually a really good point, to be honest, because when I first had got them, I don't know if you guys already have seen the video. If you haven't, please go over to the channel and have a look. That's why the videos are there. But what had happened was, like, one of them, when I had loaded it with gas, it had shot halfway through the mag, and then the second one did the same thing. But then on the second round, I refilled both of them, and then I noticed one of them shot through all the way now, and then the other one shot through half again. So I was trying to work out if I needed to return one. Plus I had some issue with like the spring on one of them. But as an update, I'm gonna do a mag dump video on my pistol and my gas blowback rifle, if you want to call it that, because it's in a conversion kit, so technically it's a rifle, and the accuracy is basically rifle accuracy. But yeah, what will I say? So yeah, we got the two bad boys here. Like we said before, I changed one of them to camo. You can see that. Or can you see that? Trying to make sure the camera can see it. But and then yeah, the other one's just the initial, just black Raven bottom. What will I say? I probably had these mags now. You can obviously see some wear and tear on them as well if you look around them. Little bits and bobs of wear and tear, and that's just where the mags have been actively used. Like, I think these are my most used. Yeah, you can see proper wear and tear there, the nozzle. I don't know if the camera is gonna pick it up, but yeah. And that's just because these are basically my most used mags. I use these more than I use things like my standard mags, if you get what I mean. So if anything, my standard mags are more for just like testing videos and cycling my pistol, and you know what I'm saying, I more use it for that stuff. But what will I say, like, I'm probably like a month and a half, 2 months into having these now, and what I will say is they were a damn good investment, especially for the price. Like, I remember looking at some WE mags of similar ratio, and they were like £50 a pop, whereas I think I only paid like 35. Yeah, I think I paid £35 each on these, so about 70 quid in total. But well worth the investment. Like, well worth the investment. Like, I find, you see, like how I was gassing up the Vosk mag in the beginning about how much rounds you can get out of it without refilling the gas. This is pretty similar. Like, I found at times I've been able to cycle two and say like twice and say like 10 more pellets, which is pretty good because it holds 48, and I'm saying that's times 2, so 48 times 2 plus 10. So what's that? My maths is not the greatest. What's that? 40, that's 80, 88, 96, if I'm correct, somewhere around that line, 96. And plus 10, so 106, which is pretty good from one mag. Because if you pre that, I'm basically saying you'll get your 48, you can load another 48, plus you can load one more time, but you only get 10, which is pretty cool when you think about it. Because in a game, say you've got 2 mags, in theory you've got 212 bullets or pellets, which is pretty cool. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Especially for a gas pistol, because most these kind of burners don't tend to like have much, sorry people messaging me, don't tend to have much capacity. Like, they'll really wave you with accuracy and scaring people and feedback and kickback and all these things, but they don't tend to be really good at like having large mags unless you've got something like a drum mag. So yeah, something like this is very, very useful, especially just before buying a drum mag, just to make sure you even want to stick with the gas gun that you have. But yeah, enough chatting. What I will say is I will eventually do a video on HPA set, because I think that's probably the last upgrade I'm gonna do to my current indoor kit. And when I say my indoor kit, I'll show you what I'm talking about as well, because you're probably like, what's the nigga talking about indoor kit? But like, I'm trying to have different loadouts basically. So I'm gonna have an outdoor loadout, which will probably be some kind of massive gas blowback rifle or some kind of AEG, and then it will have like a higher tier, like maybe an M9 or a Glock, and that will only come out when I'm going to outdoor spaces. And then what I'm calling my indoor gear is basically this. So I've got my Vosk. I'm sure you guys have seen this bad boy on the channel a few times. It's taken some damage. I need to redo the decals on that side. So it currently says 1048 rather than 10748, but wear and tear in it. You use it. This is probably my most active gun in the artillery right now. So yeah, you'll notice there's a few changes to it, like the bottom end has wiring and all of that, and it's because I put this laser on it. I think I've done a video, if I'm correct. I think I shot a video the other day about this. So you guys in theory, well, no, I think this is the first video where it's actually on the gun. But I think I'd done an unboxing of the laser for you guys. So yeah. Do you see bare messages? Everybody trying to message me when I'm trying to shoot. So yeah, and so far, so good. I think my only complaint with it, because it took a sec as well for me to kind of line it up to get it perfect, because now it basically sits exactly where my aim sight is. I could literally look down my sight and it's perfectly in the middle, whereas when I got it, it was sitting like offset to the right, and I was trying to suss out how to get it right. But yeah, got there in the end. One thing I will say about this is though, I noticed when the laser's on, like right now you can just hear it ding, quiet noise. I'm gonna put it to the camera so you see if you guys can hear it. Don't know if you guys can hear it. It's quite loud, and to be honest, it's quite concerning, because obviously when you're using your pistol, you don't want to be hearing it's not loud, but it's annoying. So I think over time I may complain to the company about that and just see, because it might be a faulty one. Plus, if it comes like that, I might just ask for a refund and get another one, because I did pay a decent amount for this, so I don't want to be hearing but yeah, I'm gonna at least cycle it once, let it use, die out, and then I'll fully charge it, and then we can give a proper update. But so far it is good, it is useful. One thing I will say is, you see where the pistol has less accuracy, because obviously every time it shoots your hand moves, plus it's the barrel is not stabilized, for example, compared to something like my actual CAA kit. And again, there's changes here, so I'll talk about that in a sec. The laser is useful, because the laser allows me to kind of like, without aiming down sight, be able to kind of see roughly where my shot will go. So even though there will be some kind of movability as you shoot, because anybody who's a gas gun user understands that the gun kicks, so you have to be very precise with your hand like movement and like how much leverage you give the gun to move after it's shot. Because trust me, it took me a sec to understand that, like, why is the accuracy off? And it's genuinely because as the gas kicks, you have a human reaction. You tend to like jump, which is something you've got to train out of yourself. And then also the gun naturally has a force because of that gas flowing through it. So yeah, man, but so far so good. I'm happy with it. Like I said, it's just that noise that does me head in. Yeah, and this gun has been like super greasy recently because I decided to test some new grease, which, trust me, it's useful, but it's very annoying because I noticed every day I've got to degrease the gun again, like wipe it down with some kind of like top pour, something to basically just to wipe away some of the grease, which means that next time I should use probably less grease when greasing this pistol. But again, trial and error, which I will do a video on that grease soon. I'm just currently reviewing how well the grease actually works. So yeah, like I said, my Vosk pistol, that is what my secondary is. I put back the bottom half on it as well, just to give it its original look and original feel, just so I can give it proper, and it isn't loaded, so don't stress, just so I can give it proper reviewing it. Like if I keep adjusting things, I can't review the gun properly, right? Whereas I put it back to its original format. This is actually how it came. I think the only thing it's currently missing is the nozzle that came with it, and that I've taken it off because I'm currently using it in my Raven, which is what's in this. So this is a Raven in a CAA G1 kit. I've got a Duracell, I think it's called a 1A battery or something like that. A PB2, sorry, it's called. I've adjusted the stock, that's why it looks a bit different, shit like that. It does have an adjustable stock, so I can use it as like a SMG, and then if I wanted to use it as a longer rifle, which can rest on my chest. I've recently put I've moved where the hanger is, just so the gun is a bit more balanced when it's around me, because before it was hanging like that and I didn't really like it, whereas now when it's on me, it kind of just rests like roughly about there, giving me the ability to just grab and go type thing. But what changes have I made? So I think we spoke roughly about this. Like, I didn't like that the fact that the handle was slightly higher, so I basically added this little attachment. It's basically a scope attachment, but I've made a few adjustments just to make it work for the CAA kit. I don't know if you can see it, but so it now holds onto the body, and then my actual arm, or mount if you want to call it that, holds onto that, just to give me a bit more leverage. Do you know what I'm saying? Because if you notice, it sits almost in line with where my clip would sit. So yeah. What else have I done? Obviously I put some wiring in, just so that when my GoPro's on there, on that side, let me show you properly, on that side, I can just send some power in from this side, either underneath or round to the other side, which again is just more for like when you're filming and you're in a game and you can see the light flashing that it's about to die. I can keep it going, just chuck it in. It's a quick movement, just hide in the building, slap, and back out again. Other adjustments that I've made, I've chose to move this sight a bit more further up. I don't know if you can see, it's sitting literally right in front of my rail. Again, I just feel like it's a really good sight. It does what it's meant to do. And then if you've noticed, I've added this bad boy. So hemoglobin scope with like a circle sight on it. It's so useful because it does like green. I don't know if it will show it in the camera that it's on, but it does like a green, and again, that's not loaded, so don't worry. It does like a green. I don't know if the camera will pick it up though. If I can get it in line with the camera, you might just about be able to see it. There it is. So like it has a green kind of like circle, and then obviously I can make it red as well, but I've chosen to go for green because obviously green is what this kit is all about, green and black. But so yeah, and to be honest, I don't think I'm gonna make too much more adjustments to this. I think the most I'm gonna do to this is probably make the barrel longer in the Raven, probably get a new hand mount, because I've seen a couple more that look a bit better and are a bit more firmer, and potentially put a laser, potentially, because I've got quite a long rail which allows me to do things like this. So I think those are the only thing, and then obviously the HPA kit, because I feel like there's not much more you can really do to this gun from there, if you get what I mean. Like it's similar to the Vosk. They're good. I'm coming to a stage of understanding, like, as much as I like to custom things, you don't push something further than it needs to go. Like, get it to a great standard where it works and it's useful. But if you're at a place where you're like, oh, I still want to do more to it, then just go and buy a more expensive gun. Do you get it? It's like, for example, with me, maybe in a year or 2 years time, I might get to a place where I'm like, oh, I want more. I just want more from my indoors rifle. So what I might do is go and buy, rather than like this kit, I'll do another video where I talk about what is on it and how much it's costed in total, but I would call this like my more cheaper kit. Like, all in all, I think this is under £300 worth of kit here, if I'm correct. I'll have to go through it properly. And same, this is £100 worth of pistol, and that's including the sight. the laser sight. If the laser sight is a £70 pistol, so I think maybe on my next kit I'd probably spend more closer to like 500 on my rifle, maybe 400 or 500 on my rifle, and then on my handgun maybe about 250, just to make sure that again that's an upgrade to what I'm doing. But yeah man, enough chatting. I owe you a cycle video. You might have to bear with me as I reload though, so that probably will be the longest bit, reloading. I've got to load the clips once more to cycle once more, but it should be all calm. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. So we're gonna dash that bad boy in there, and I'm gonna put on my glasses because we have to protect my eyes. And some of you, I know, like in the comments was like, oh, if it hits your glasses it will shatter. These are, I've got like a different grade of lens on it, which basically makes it like plasticky, if that makes sense. So it's probably stronger than my actual airsoft glasses. It's why more time you see me wearing these, because it's not going to shatter. Do you get what I'm saying? The BB will shatter before it hits the glass. This actually happened the other day when I was cycling the pistol after I had greased it. I had like shot it and pinged off and hit the glass, and later on that day I found shattered fragments of BB, and I was like, shit, like that must have been when it pinged off the glass, because the glass didn't break, but I noticed I found like probably about 3-4 different pieces of BB, and I was like, what the hell, it smashed it into 4 pieces. So, and if you notice, the glasses are fully intact, so yeah, that's why I do that. But for you guys at home, I wouldn't test that. Make your glasses, this is something I actually got done specifically to my glasses. I would always advise wear proper eye protection, which I normally do have on. I think it's just in my marshalling bag at the moment, so I don't really want to take that out because I'm all packed and ready for that game on that day. But yeah, so let's get into it. Let's get into it. Nearly fell down there to Ross. So we're gonna dash that in there, and you always want to hear that click, because if you notice, once you hear that click, I can spin my gun upside down and it's actually in there. We're gonna flick that bad boy laser on, and then we're gonna try and get some shots off. I'm gonna try and keep this within frame just so that you guys can see the fire, but at the same time I want to be able to aim the pistol properly. Oh, do you know what I do need to do? I might need to cycle it. Oh no, there's already one in the chamber. I don't want to put it too close to my face, innit, because I literally just oiled it and it will spit oil at me. See, that's why you should wear glasses, because that one pinged back, and it's because I aimed a bit lower. There we are again, it happened again. One thing I will say about the Raven is that since I have all out. We are all out. And the thing I like with the clip, even though this is a Boss gun and it's a Raven clip, if you noticed, it's flicked back like I was complaining about before. So I have to big up Raven for that, because I noticed my WE clip doesn't do the same thing in this gun. So big up Raven for that. But if you notice, we just cycled through fine. What I am gonna do is like run through the other gun just so you guys can see, refill this mag afterwards and the other mag, and then cycle this one again and cycle the other one again, if that makes sense. But the next time will be an auto for both guns, yeah? So we'll put that to one side until we're ready for it, yeah? So far so good, it made it through. Let's just hope it makes a whole nother round through. And then now we have the bad boy. Called this one the love of my life. Apart from my kids, obviously. But yeah, so we're gonna dash that one in. Actually, let me cop that back. but this is just my preference with this gun. I like to have it cocked back like that, so my chamber's open. If you can see, I don't know if you can see, my chamber's open. Put my hand in there. And then I like to put the clip in, and I try to use the one that has the camo just to match the gun. Shut that in, and I did load them before. Like, let me just show you guys quick so you know I'm not capping. That one was loaded as well. And those are not gaps, those are just black bullets in there, black pellets. Yeah, they're not gaps. Okay, so that's that. But you know what, I think I'm gonna actually even recharge it just to be safe. I didn't like the way that one went in. Okay, we are good to go. Flick that safety off, you see that? Come on, boy was like, I never see you flick off the safety, your gun should be on safety. Even before I flick off the safety, I've just flicked it back on. I'm gonna switch my sight on, make sure I can see. Boom, so I know where I'm shooting. And then we'll flick off our safety just for him. And you know what, let me put it in rifle mode. Actually get to enjoy it properly. Have that stability on it. And you just get that TT accuracy, I'm telling you. This is why I put this scope on it, you know, and I left that front sight, because I noticed when I shoot this compared to my pistol has like a fly off rate. It flies off every so often, and maybe I need to readjust it depending on the gas that I use and stuff like that. But I noticed with this bad boy, regardless the gas I use, it's just so precise. Like, I'm telling you, like if I was gonna play competition, I'm taking this bad boy with me. I'm telling you. I think the only issue I'm trying to work out is how to stop that jam issue you see me just go through. I'm currently in the middle of making adjustments, and I think I know what the problem is. Like, you see on Glocks, we tend to have this usability thing where, like, if we put it like that, we like to have the mag in. I'll show you what I mean as well. I like to have the mag in and just slap off this button. And in theory, you shouldn't do that, because I'll show you what I mean. It's done it on this time, this one, but I noticed that that's more because if you notice the mag's empty. If I was to try that same thing with a full mag, my slide would sometimes get stuck just slightly, roughly about there, which means that it wouldn't quite do the click. And it's quite annoying, if you get what I mean, because sometimes you're ready to fire and it don't fire and you're like, oh, what's going on? And you panic. But again, story for another day. We'll talk about that in another video. But I'm sure Glock owners, you'll know what I mean. It's like, never do that. Just charge your handle. Like, literally every time you put your clip in, just charge it. I'm telling you, because at least you know you've done. And if it jams, you will know, because it would have jammed on you before you go to aim it, if you get what I mean. So yeah, just something I found. So let's go anyway. Let's get the first shot off. Warm the gun up. See why I said always wear things? Because I actually hit the box but came back out the box. Always wear eye protection. I'm telling you, even sometimes wear face protection if you're a child, like, or a newcomer to the sport. I think it's jammed on me, you know. Give me 1 sec. I think it has jammed on me. Yeah, it has jammed on me. So give me 2 seconds. I ain't even gonna pause the video. I might as well just keep it running. I've noticed this keeps on happening with the kit, but I think I know what it is. You see the charging handle? Sometimes debris gets stuck in there, and I think what's happened is debris is stuck in mine, and I just haven't cleaned it properly, because I noticed that even this morning, I always try to, like, cycle my guns before I do videos just to test everything's all running like it should. And this morning I kept on running into that same issue. But if you notice, the moment I've opened the gun, it's gone back to normal. So I reckon, yeah, do you see it's my charging handle? Something, maybe I need to, yeah, I can see it as well. I've had some wear and tear on the charging handle. So what I probably need to do is, like, use like a carving knife or something, just to make sure that the grooves in the charging handle are like, they fit tightly, if that makes sense. I think what I might do at some point is like put it on with an elastic band around it, just so that it has that extra tight fit. Because yeah man, I can actually see it's just debris where like the plastic or the metal or whatever is got in there, so the shape has changed just slightly. And obviously if your charging handle moves in your barrel of the CAA kit, it won't be able to move freely like it should, so that's why that jam happens. Because if you notice, the moment I've taken my gun out, the gun is fine, like there's no jam problem there, you know what I'm saying? And even that, I know why the gun does that. It's because you're not meant to cock your gun upside down. Never do that. It's like the gravity of the spring fucks it up. You're always, if you notice, every time I cock it back like right this, it makes it back fine. It makes it back fine. It makes it back fine. It's this thing here. You're not meant to do it because it throws the gravity of the gun off. It's why I always say to people, never shoot up with Glocks, because what you'll do is you'll freeze your inner barrel and you'll lock your handle. So maybe that was even my fault. I think when I cocked it slightly up, so that was probably my fault. Always hold your rifle straight and then cock it. And I more say that just because they are Glocks, man. These are just build faults with Glocks. No matter how much you grease them, trust me. Take this from somebody. I grease my Glock so often that my Glock probably dislikes me, because it feels like a porn star the amount of times I grease it. But I have to do that just because I feel like if you don't look after your gun don't look after you. But yeah, looks all good, man. It's that damn charging handle I need to sort out. If I'm correct, we made it through one. Okay, so it is on. Yeah, if I'm correct, we made it through one BB and then it jammed. And it's so crazy because I literally see why it does that jam thing. So I think what I'll probably do is make some adjustments to my kit just to facilitate the Raven gun itself a bit better. But that's further down the line. Try that again, there we are. But if you notice, my gun was leveled when I done that. So I'm saying, this rifle is just mad still. You know what I'm saying? That's coming through the box and back out, you know. It's done it again, you know. So annoying because you were working fine earlier. And I know where it is. The moment I open that barrel, it will, I bet you any money, it will go back to normal again, just like it just did 2 seconds ago. You do have to have patience with your CAA kit, I will say that. So if you don't put a Glock in there that they've advised you as recommended, you're gonna run into the issues like me, but I don't mind it just because I prefer the Raven. Yeah, do you see, it's the charging handle again. So I think what I do need to just do do you see, it's my charging handle, man. That's actually annoying. I could edit it now, but it's just time. I want to shoot this video. Do you get it, guys? Okay, hopefully we have some luck. I can see the movement as well, you know. It's so annoying because it's so slight, but with these kind of things, any slight movement will do that, will make a difference. But we are back to it. Let me chuck it back in the kit quickly. Do you know the maddest thing is that might actually make me end up putting the Raven, putting the what's it called, the Vosk back in here and testing that for about a week and see, because I actually was like, some could say confirmed that the what's it called, the Raven, I think I put it in wrong, you know. I was actually confirmed that the Raven was what I was gonna leave in here, just because I felt like it had a better flow as the barrel moved back and forth compared to the Vosk. But I'm starting to, there you are, winning so easy this time. But I feel like now my opinion is starting to change recently, in the last like 2-3 days. Yeah. Oh, do you know what it might be? It might be me shooting at an angle that's jamming it, you know, guys. So let me just try and level myself out to the gun, because I was shooting up like that. Do you get it? Yeah, still doing it. Okay, I guess this is another one of those videos that we are gonna have to pause and come back to, because I can see it's double loading it, and I don't actually believe that, because I can see it. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it. Just down in the barrel, there's 2 BBs. I don't know if you guys can see it. There's actually 2 where it's trying to load. So let's just bust it one more time. It looks like with the rifle, I will have to do the mag dump in another video for you guys, but I will finish the pistol one for you. Let me just see, just to make sure that nothing's wrong with my Raven. Yeah, do you see charging handle again? I think I'm gonna have to get somebody to make this in metal for me. I know it's not the gun, like, look, I'll show you what I mean. You know what I'm saying? It's cycling perfectly fine, so I know it's not the gun, it's the charging handle on the kit that's getting stuck. Oh, what are my options? I think what I'm gonna have to just do for you guys at some point is I'll switch them over and I'll do another cycling video, but I will finish cycling this mag for you just so you guys can see. So I said the Raven is a beautiful, beautiful gun, but yeah, it looks like I found an issue. I am gonna have to try and work out how to fix that charging handle. I think what I will just do, because at one point my boy told me just use like a carbon knife, like something like a Stanley knife, and you can carve out your grooves again. But I'm not gonna lie, at first I thought it might be a bit dangerous, but I think I'm gonna have to give it a try now, because that damn fly is actually annoying me. I don't know why he's in here. I've been trying to get him out for about an hour, you know. But that fly got hot. He said, "Me nah go nowhere. Me nah go nowhere, boy." I'm gonna try and cycle this one more time for you guys. Kind of rushing. Don't be like me. Take your time. So we've got a full mag. I'm gonna cycle using the Raven again. See, I don't know what's going on there. And if you notice,